I think an inclusive culture is a culture where everyone has a voice, but they're not forced to use it to advocate for themselves. They're able to be at the same table, space is created for them, and there's no barriers to them being there.
Creating an inclusive culture is really a complex thing. It's not just welcoming. It starts with your attitude of being sincere. It's really a complex, but it's highly achievable. Like,
to me, I think the first step in creating an inclusive culture is to really think about what are we ready for. And if the current state of the organization and the way processes and even the purpose has been defined only allows for a limited amount of inclusivity, it's really essential to acknowledge that. And there's nothing wrong about it. And one can really gradually expand how much more inclusive we can be.
I'm strongly believing that we can only give what we have. So how can you create an inclusive relationship with someone else if you don't understand yourself? So what I do recommend is actually doing some inner work and reflecting on who you are, where you came from, what are the hurdles in your life.
Having critical conversations allows us to really identify and dig in on those things that are excluding people from our conversations.
Can we also look at really conscious allyship? People who are in a more healed and a more privileged space have the responsibility of also healing that space, and therefore can they step up as well?
If you can be the contributor to making someone else's life better, it's gonna come back to you, because what you give comes back to you.
DEI is the best practice that should be done in all. It doesn't matter what your culture, what your office, corporate, small business, a family. DEI standards is very applicable.
Educate yourself, read, listen to people's narrative, and be open to learning from anything and anyone, because everything has a purpose.
Inclusion means different things to different people, particularly because all of us bring in our own traumas to any system that we work and operate in. And so the need of inclusion could express itself in very different ways. So it really helps to capture what does a particular person hope for when they are participating in this idea of an inclusive culture.